Hello everybody, welcome back to Cringeworthy. My name is Yeti, and in the spirit of Halloween, we are going to play Disturbed. No, not that Disturbed. So you can see, it's Disturbed by Brad Moore. This is a free-to-play game on Steam. In the spirit of Halloween, we are going to do this. Let's start our game. Another dull day passes as you struggle to manage your failing farm. Your crops are beginning to wilt, and your cow is sick. For some time, the land has been very quiet. The air has grown thick and foul. Each passing day, you feel more uncertain if things will ever return to how they were before. Perhaps it is up to you. You've made up your mind. You're going to do something about it. You stand in front of your humble home, pondering what you should do next. You're right. Oh, I can go to the crops. I can go in the house. I can go in the shed. You know what? Let's go in the house. Oh, hi. Entering the house, you feel a subtle uneasiness, as if the growing blight outside has penetrated the walls of your safe haven. From what you see, however, everything is the same as if you left it. Perhaps this may be a good time to just lay in bed and wish that your problems will just go away. You fight the notion, but the temptation is still there. Just like in real life. Okay, let's lay in bed. You lay in your bed and fall asleep to the light sound of wind blowing outside against the grass. You begin to hear a whisper and chants, but you can't make out. Make what? But you can't make anything of it. An image appears before you, a stone, glowing as if it were alive. The chants get louder, your vision grows more detailed. You reach toward the stone with your hand. As your finger makes contact, a clash of thunder rattles around you. Your clothing and skin start to flake away, like dust in the wind. The particles flow into the stone, sapping the life from your body. You feel pain you have never experienced before, and the fear begins to flood over you. You suddenly see yourself lying in bed, never to wake up again. Your adventure ends here. Well, thank you for tuning in to Cringeworthy. Next time, I'll do it again. Another dull day, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Yes, the air's grown thick and blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. All right, so let's go into the house and not just go into bed. Read my journal. Dear Journal, as usual, another day on the farm. The crops are growing with good health. Beth Ann is also doing quite well, never disappointed with the milk that she provides. If things continue to go well, I may be able to invest in more animals. A farmer can only be so social with a cow, if you know what I mean. Oh man, it didn't even like my joke. Dear Journal, today has been an unfortunate day. Someone broke into my shed, stole some things. I usually don't mind if someone steals a bite to eat from the garden, but to take my equipment, well, I put a lock on the door and hid the key. Nobody will ever get into my stuff again. Dear Journal, I woke up one night to a foul smell I've never come across before. I took a step outside to see what I could find, but I found nothing after searching. Whatever it is, it must be bad. I should make a trip into the city to see what this is about. Really, he just farted in his sleep. Woke himself up. Okay, let's open up the chest. You open the chest and find nothing more than a pile of papers. It seems you have less valuables than you anticipated. You close the chest. Got it. Well, that was fruitful. Go back outside. Let's go in the shed. You attempt to open the shed door, but it won't budge. You remember locking it some time ago, but you can't remember what you did with the key. Okay. Can I go in the house? Kind of like click on something in the house? No. No, I can't. Alright, well. Hid the key. Don't know what I did with it. Go back outside. Guess all I have to do is go to the crops now. Go to the crops. 1 second. That's a ghost of my dinner. Alright. A path divides the crops you have labored so hard to prosper these past months. A penetrating odor reminds you that your plants are decaying away and time is running short. Oh, you're a ray of sunshine. Let's go into the pen. Okay. Is that my Beth Ann? The toxic fume burns your nose as you enter the pen. Your poor cow lays lifeless on the ground as a growing blight starts to begin to consume her body. You feel sick to your stomach as you stand here, especially as you stare at the black mushrooms that dot the ground. No, my Beth Ann. I used to have sex with that cow. Grab a mushroom, inspect the water, leave the pen. Let's inspect the water. You inspect the water, looking for anything abnormal. You notice that the water has a dark consistency to it. Dropping a stone into it, black particles from the bottom swirl about like a thunderstorm. Your face shrivels in disgust. Wow. Let's grab a mushroom. What? You kneel down and grab a mushroom. As you begin to rip it out, a cloud of spores sprays from the mushroom. Your hands begin to burn and melt as you observe them. Am I just tripping balls? Slowly, your body shrivels into a dark, moist consistency. A dark consistency? A consistency? Anyway, slowly your body shrivels up into a dark, moist consistency as the poison spreads. You die, eventually, after crawling about on the ground. Your adventure ends here. Okay. You continue down the trail for a while until you see a cave off in the distance. You pause, questioning if there could be something helpful in there. Yeah, because caves always have fucking helpful things. Let's go into the cave. There's a faint whistle from the wind passing between the rocks. The temperature significantly cools as you enter a cave, which actually happens. It's really neat. You notice that there is a different smell, but you welcome it, comparing it to the deathly blight you found outside. Sure. Ah, shit, a bear! Before you take your next step, a large bear emerges from the darkness. You realize that you have made a terrible mistake, even thinking that something helpful can be in here. Fuck the bear. Fight it. You scan the ground and notice that there are numerous rocks you can grab and throw at the bear. You begin to do so as the bear approaches you. One after the other, you throw the rocks as hard as you can. Oh shit, a bear. The bear charges at you as you bend over to grab another rock. It grabs you by the hips, ramming its giant bear cock, tackling you to the ground. The bear bites into your neck. Your body quickly goes limp, and you die. Your adventure ends here. Okay, I was killed by a bear. What happens if I go into the cave? And I go further into the cave, see the bear, but run. The moment you turn to run, the bear roars with a deep growl, shaking loose the stones about the cave, and all you can think about is making it back home in one piece. You make it to the trail, then the bear catches up with you, tackling you to the ground, ramming his bear cock into your ass. You scream in pain as the bear rips you apart. Your adventure ends here. Fuck the cave. Continue down the path. You come to a stop as you stumble upon a broken wagon. Inspect the wagon. You look about the mess and find bits of food and clothes scattered about the scene. You notice a key on the ground during your search. You pick up the key and continue on your way. After what felt like an hour or two, you reach a bridge. Nearby the path is a small shack, similar to the house you have on the farm. The man that lives here is a kind fellow, from what you recall. Maybe he's home. Maybe he's dead. You walk towards the structure and knock on the door. You scratch the back of your head, figuring that the person that lives here is currently occupied, if not elsewhere. You remember picking up a key from the wagon, and you use it on the door. The door unlocks. You decide to help yourself in, like an asshole. Observing the empty room, you realize something terrible must have taken place here. The room is a wreck, just like the wagon. You are overcome with fear as you think of the man that used to dwell here. Probably the fucking bear. Inspect the book on the table. You pick up the book and start to flip through the pages. You discover that it is a journal. Reading a passage or two can't hurt.
Today's trade went smoothly, thank goodness. What I am thrilled most about, however, is one of my buddies mentioned to me that at the conclusion of our day, apparently there's a pond nearby that makes some of the biggest fish in the region. With a good catch, I could make enough to move things forward. I was caught off guard.
I was caught off guard when he mentioned that nobody has been able to catch any fish from there. I guess your typical fishing rod won't do the trick. But what can be done about it then? Something to be intrigued about, I suppose.
These past couple weeks have really been rough for me. My trading business has gone under. I've lost nearly everything I own. This has pushed me to extremes. That can't be helped now. I'm leaving this place forever, never to return. The land is dying, and there's nothing but darkness here. Anyone reading this should leave while they can and stay out of my fucking business.
You can't find a name to give this man, but regardless of the name, you get chills run down your spine.
Open the trap door.
You observe the trap door and notice a lock, keeping it closed. With the key, you unlock the hatch and get it open. Without thinking, you travel downward. Oh. Walking down the steps, leading below, the air attacks your body with a piercing cold. You notice immediately that there's a woman chained to the wall, as we have in our own houses at home. She doesn't seem to notice you as you study her. You feel the darkness surround you as you stay in this awful place.
Talk to the woman.
You tremble as you try to form words in your mouth.
You there? Let me out of here.
The pressure of such a demand makes you freeze. You take a moment to think about the situation before you respond.
What got you locked up there to begin with?
You'll never believe me, even if I told you the truth. Something brought you here. Please, have mercy on me.
Sounds like a trap to me.
Free the woman.
You approach the woman and unlock the shackles that bind her. As her arm becomes free, she moans in pain.
Oh, thank you so much.
The woman struggles to regain her strength, but starts to stand up on her own. As she gets up, she turns towards you.
I will now do you a favor.
What seemed to be the face of a helpless woman disappears as a horrible image manifests itself before you. You feel the chilling grip of bone hands lock onto your arms. Energy flees from your body, and you fall to your knees. You feel the essence of your life slip away as everything goes black. It is unfortunate that your journey ends here. Fucking should have known it. Cross the bridge. You cross the bridge safely and continue down the trail. After that has happened, you feel like you should take a moment to rest. You find a spot under a tree and sit down. Getting comfortable, you tilt your head back against a tree and gaze into the sky. None of these look like good options. I'll take a nap. Your eyes close and your body relaxes. You fall asleep within seconds. As your mind wanders, you see a blurry image. Details emerge as you gaze. You wonder who this might be. It's me, isn't it? A bad feeling overcomes you, and you realize who this is. You try and wake yourself up. Oh, hey, look at that. You wake yourself up and jump to your feet, looking about you. Looking about yourself and your surroundings. All seems well. You can't help but be fearful, as something bad will happen to you if you stay here. Moving forward seems like the only logical option now. You reach a point where the trail splits into two paths. Which way should you go? Let's go left. After continuing down the path for some time, you come to a stop. You notice that there is some sort of trail that leads through the grass, up toward the nearby hill. If you had not stopped, you probably wouldn't have noticed. You probably would have flubbed that line. Let's follow the trail. Continue down the path. Let's follow the trail in the grass. Following the subtle trail in the grass, you stumble upon what looks like a grave. Inspect El Gravo. You approach the grave. You look at the sword with intrigue. Before you can touch the sword, a ghostly figure appears before you. You freeze before the apparition. The sword? I have it. You slowly motion for the sword. Back away from the sword. You listen to the specter and leave the sword. The figure fades out of view. Continue on, I guess. You pause to see that there's a lake nearby. The trail continues on to your right. Go to the lake. You step near the lake and look down into it. And I get killed. Resting underwater is an orb of some sort, sitting on the bottom of the lake. There is something strange about it, as if it were calling out to you. Oh, yeah, this sounds like a great idea. Dive in. You close your eyes and jump into the lake. What? Why did it sound like I was in a... Anyway. You open your eyes to see a stone sitting before you. You start to make your way toward it. Holy shit. A large fish comes into view. It quickly notices you with his mouth stretched open. You try to leave for the surface, but the fish catches up to you. You quickly find yourself helpless before the creature. You close your eyes as a giant fish rips your body apart with its teeth. You die a very painful death, and your adventure ends here. What happens if I pick at the grass? As you pick at the grass blades in your reach, the ground begins to shake. Before you can get up, roots from below sprout from the ground and wrap around your legs. You turn around to see an angry face looking back at you. Your jaw drops in horror. No sound or scream escapes your tongue as the tightening grip of the roots squeeze what air is left from your body. Your adventure ends here. What happens if I grab the sword? You reach for the sword, but before you can lay a finger on it, the spirit grabs your arm. A sharp pain flows over your body as your flesh melts off your bones. What fragments remain fall to the ground. Your adventure ends here. Okay, now we're at the lake. Can you continue along the trail? That's what I'm gonna do. The faint trail comes to an end. There's a collection of stone pillars down the hill. Beyond the hill is a large field of grass. Inspect the stone pillars. You stand before the large stones, arranged in the shape of a circle, kind of like a hinge. The center is a stone with what appears to be some sort of slot or hole. No doubt about it, something is meant to be placed there. Maybe like a sword. Seeing that you can't do anything, you head back. Okay. Explore the field. You find yourself gazing over a grass field with hills rolling onto the distance. The fuck? Was not expecting a unicorn. As if a trick upon your eyes, you see a unicorn run across the field. It disappears out of sight before you can do anything. Surely the unique powers of a unicorn can help you with your quest, but there is clearly something wrong. If only there was a way to charm it. Are you saying I'm not charming? Guess I have to go back. So continue down the path. You walk for some time and find an endless field of grass. There's a stone well near the path. Inspect the well. Whoa. You peer down the well. You see a coin. Other than the evident water at the bottom, there's a coin resting against a wall of the well. If possible, you feel you should go down and take the coin, like a dumbass. Grab the coin. You lean over the edge of the well. There's no possible way you can obtain the coin reaching for it. With this in mind, you turn and climb down along the inner wall of the well. You take a few successful steps down, but your luck runs out. You misplace your foot, and you fall. Tumbling about, your body clashes against stone walls with a single knock of your head. You lose all consciousness of your accident. With the splash, you fall into the water. Your body sinks effortlessly. You drown without realizing it. Your adventure ends here. Continuing on from the well. Walking over hills of grass and grain, you reach the walls of Aramor. Several times a year, you come here to trade goods from the farm. You discover the plague has spread. You discover the plague that has spread to your farm has also spread all the way out here. The path before you is overrun with blight. Okay, so before when I touched those mushrooms, it fucking melted my goddamn skin off. So yeah, let's try. You've come a long way and you don't desire to turn back now. You march forward into the tainted soil. Before you can realize what happened, you sink completely under the ill soil. Darkness consumes you, and your lungs struggle for air. Your body burns in pain as you suffocate and die. Your adventure ends here. Go right. You've reached the end of the pathway. In the distance is a tower looking over the area. A gate secures the passage to the area with a wall around the property. Also of interest, there's a tree that has a hole carved into it. Let's stick our dick in that tree. You approach the tree and notice the hole is big enough to fit your hand in. You look and see something shiny in the hole, as if it were metal. Feeling around with your hand, you find 3 knobs. One on the right, one in the center, and one on the left. Sure, press the knobs. Fuck. Alright, let's press the middle knob. That didn't sound good. Okay. The knob locks in place. You wait for a moment, but nothing happens. Must be some sort of combination. Okay, leave the tree. Okay, go to the gate. You approach the gate cautiously. Enter. Standing before the tower, your heart begins to sink. This is no doubt the birthplace of the spreading plague. There's a fountain before you with statues on your right and left. I'll inspect the statue on the left. You see an old statue of an angel that has been consumed by the vines of thorn. The angel's holding a book in one hand and with the other, fingers pointed up towards the sky. You feel it best to leave the statue alone. Okay, that could be one. With holding a finger up. Let's inspect the fountain. There's a dark haze about the fountain. The water's black, and the smell burns with every breath. You feel a slight pull towards the fountain, as if it was calling you for something. Yeah. Okay. Look on the right. I see two fingers on that statue. Before you stands an old angel statue that is broke in many areas. With one hand, the angel is holding some sort of bowl, while the other hand is hovering over the bowl. You notice that there is only two remaining fingers on the angel's other hand. You feel you should keep your distance and just observe the statue. Exit the gated area. Okay, so let's go to the hole. See, it was left, right, middle. Press the knobs. Left, right, middle. Okay. Okay, so left, right, something. Left, right, right. Hey! You hear rumbling of rocks as the ground starts to shift underneath you. Everything goes dark and you sink below the surface. The hole above you seals up, trapping you underground. Alright, you find yourself with no evident way out, but the path before you into the darkness. Your only choice is to move forward. Great. You see 3 separate paths within the walls. Which path do you choose? Let's go left. You cautiously make your way through the darkness. Let's go left again. Always left. You move forward into the darkness. Wait, is this the same 3? Let's go left again. Okay, let's go right now. You struggle forward as the way before you becomes completely dark. You notice that there is a light in the distance, and you continue to make your way forward. Whoa. Eventually you make it into some sort of concrete room. Turning around you see a hole in the wall where you came from. Your guess is that it wasn't part of the initial design. Well, you turn around to see a door. There being of little nothing to see in this room, you decide to move on through the doorway. Oh, that looks great. You find yourself in what looks like a basement. You turn about to discover that in each direction there's a door. Boxes of supplies and debris litter it. Boxes of supplies and debris litters the floor and the corners of the room. Okay. You notice that there are several markings on the doors and floor, some of which scare you. You've got a bad feeling about this place. Rightfully so. Oh, great. Okay, so there's like blood and trails and stuff leading into the left door. I'll inspect the supplies. You walk about the room, browsing through its dust-covered storage. You find some rope in one of the boxes. Feels strong to the touch and has minimal wear. You decide to take the rope. Alright, I have a rope. Okay, so the left side has fucking blood trailing to it. The right side has scratch marks on it. And the fucking middle door is off its hinges. I'm gonna go with the right door because if it has scratches on it, it means the beast isn't in there. Right door. You enter a small room. There's a large cauldron in the center of the room with wood resting beneath. There's nothing on the shelves, as if someone cleaned this place out. You look into the pot but find nothing in it. With nothing else to see, you exit the room. Well, let's go into the left door. Oh. You enter a small room with a large hole in the wall. There are other objects in the room, but none of them interest you. Because I'm lazy at writing. Let's continue on. Move forward into the darkness. Oh, fuck off. Let's... God damn it, I'm back here again. Let's go straight. Middle door. Oh, that looks wonderful. You enter a room full of metal cages. Before you is a hallway marked with the questionable markings. You don't like the feeling that you have about this place. Whatever there was there in the cages surely did not like to be locked up. You notice that there is an animal in the cage on the left of the room, but from the dark stains of its fur, it's dead. You cautiously walk down the hallway, entering a room with 2 cell doors. Oh, great. Before you can do anything, a large hound leaps in front of you. The beast doesn't look very vicious, but one wrong move can surely be the end of you. Realizing that you are not prepared for a moment like this, you slowly back towards the other room. To your dismay, the dog follows your every movement. Great. Before you can do anything, the dog leaps forward at you. You don't survive long and die a painful death. Your adventure ends here. Holy shit, how many of these are there? Alright, I'm gonna go for one more death. One more death. You approach the door. Okay. As you reach for the doorknob, an invisible barrier stops you. It must be some sort of magic. Great. Guess all I can do is go down to the cave. I'm gonna go forward. Cautiously step forward into the darkness. Whoa. You come to a divide. Which way do you go? Let's go left. You hear a subtle echo of shifting rocks behind you. Whoa. An eye appears before you as its gaze pierces the darkness. Before you can do anything, tentacles burst from the ground and grip your entire body. It pulls you about, but you resist as much as you can. Not sure what you can do, you continue to resist until you can think of something. Your body begins to grow weak as your strength burns away. You suddenly feel yourself pulled to the ground, and you're dragged about like a rag doll. It is not long before the creature devours your body, leaving nothing behind. Your adventure ends here, and our adventure ends here as well. This is actually like really cool. It kind of reminds me of like the old you were eaten by a Gru. What game was that? Full old like text-based adventures. Well, this is rad. Like I said, it's free, so if you want it, it's on Steam. Just find it. It's called Disturbed. No, not that Disturbed. So yeah. Until next time. Outro.